$2,000 a year, $2,500 bucks. Okay.
HR
8864.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
8864?
and
The only one who has to worry about it is this guy.
Yeah,
And
he's still active.
They're called
the rest of us are
national,
retirees.
what do I know it's called? And it said it was a wrong number, but it really wasn't a wrong number. The switchboard is so flooded with calls.
switchboard at the NALC.
No, the captain that directs you to the congressperson.
Oh,
It's so cluttered, it's.
Explain it to people.
See how good that is? It's so flooded. It's so down there. It's all work and then you change your traffic.
I don't sometimes. But I think this is one of those kind of
Why does it do the whole stuff? Why can't the calls be part of this, right? Look at this. We're moving on. Yeah. Oh, yeah. January 20th.
It's a lame duck.
Yes. Coding it and vouchering it, that's how. Okay. Hi, how are you?
Well, I'm starving, thank you. I'm on a postal hunger strike. You may remember me from a couple of days ago. I'm Jaimie Partridge from Oregon. And this is,
Kevin from Anaheim, California.
Yes, sir, how are you?
and
John from Staten Island, New York. And I'm David Welsh from San Francisco, California.
Ken Lerch, I'm the president of the NALC, representing most of Montgomery County, Maryland.
And we're out here starving ourselves, and we've been encamped on the mall since Monday. Today is 4-6 day delivery. We're quite concerned that Representative Issa is
Excuse me.
Okay.
out to triple postal service, which is backroom deals to push forward HR 2309, gotten stuff that are put it into some fiscal bill legislation, and we know there's some negotiations going on between Representative Issa and on the Senate side, Lieberman and Harper to eliminate a day delivery, Saturday delivery, which would eliminate 80,000 full-time jobs. People, not only workers, but their families and every community in America, impact the economic situation in those communities. And the most vulnerable people who depend on Saturday delivery, like veterans depending on their pharmaceuticals, like the people in rural areas and low-income neighborhoods who don't have the internet, like community newspapers that depend on Saturday delivery, that depend on timely delivery of their community newspapers, like small businesses that depend on timely delivery of their advertising, like medical labs that depend on timely delivery of their samples. And taking away Saturday delivery is going to send the postal service into a debt spiral. And we're trying to emphasize the importance of this by coming in here and showing that we're willing to put our health on the line in order to save the postal service and not let the...
We're saying stops.
Go ahead.
Congress should stop starving the post office. In other words, you know about the pre-funding mandate. Yeah.
Sure.
We feel that no other company in the country has to suffer that kind of a burden. And so you have a company that's $67 billion in revenue last year, which would make it the 31st largest corporation in the United States in terms of revenue. Of course, it's larger than that really in other ways. It's got the biggest fleet in the country, and it's got a very large workforce. but the $67 billion is why the private sector wants to privatize it. They look at that and that's a plum that they want to eat. And so we're saying, don't give this plum to be eaten by private corporations. Let's keep it as a public service. It's been around since before the Constitution, before the United States was even created. And so we say it should remain as a public service. And especially since this cutbacks and privatization that's proposed is going to affect most severely poor areas, rural areas, and that kind of thing. So we feel that the most vulnerable citizens are going to be asked to suffer for this move, motivated, we feel, by greed on the part of private corporations and their representatives in Congress, such as Representative Issa.
Well, we appreciate you all coming in. Have you had a chance to talk at any point over the last year with our committee staff that are working on the bill to express your concerns, or have you been able to drop off any of the things that you've prepared for them to see?
Well, we did meet with the Senate committee,
With the, what, I'm
Lieberman's
sorry.
committee.
Oh, Lieberman's committee,
Yeah,
okay.
we met with Lieberman's committee yesterday and talked to them about it.
Okay,
We were here in June as well on a postal hunger strike.
okay.
Do you need, one of these?
And we talked,
You need me
we
water?
talked to the congressman himself and on Halloween at his office in Vista, California.
Oh,
We spoke to him for
fantastic.
20
Okay.
minutes, yeah. But
Okay.
he wouldn't listen to reason.
Okay,
From my perspective, I would question why HR 1351, which has 230 co-sponsors, was never considered by Congressman Issa's committee. And I'm very concerned about what might happen with this lame duck Congress with some mishmash of his bill, 2309, which I consider a draconian bill, which would destroy the post office, and the equally poor bill, S-1789, that was passed by the Senate in April, which he hasn't considered. He only has himself and Congressman Ross signed on to 2309. 1351 has 230 co-sponsors. That doesn't seem like democracy to me.
okay.
Yeah, the three biggest lies going is that the post office is broke, the post office cannot operate in the internet age, and that the post office runs on tax dollars. None of that is true. There's no reason to go from 6-day to 5-day. It would cost 80,000 jobs, right? And if the $5.5 billion if the Postal Service didn't have to pay that because of the Postal Accountability Enhancement Act of 2006, if they didn't have to pay that, what company could be profitable if they had to pay $5.5 billion to start the year? But that, coupled with the $75 billion the Postal Service has overfunded its pensions, that's over $100 billion the Postal Service has overfunded. That doesn't sound like a broke company, right? So why, there's no reason to dismantle the United States Postal Service, right? It's doing well.
Well, I know that Mr. Issa wants the post office to be able to continue to serve all Americans, and I'm really glad that you all had an opportunity to speak with him in person in August, and I'm glad that you're able to talk with the senator recently as well.
Can you get him on the phone or get him here to talk with us?
Well, he's here in Washington this week. We are voting this week, so he is in Washington. What I'd be happy to do is take some contact information from you,
Well, we're
and
not-
if something becomes available, we can
We're not
reach you.
leaving. We want to speak with him. We want him to assure us that he will protect Saturday delivery.
Well, I understand your request. Unfortunately, we have a full day already scheduled for him with constituents and others.
Oh, you might change your mind.
Well, here's what I'd ask you to consider. We have constituents that have taken the time to schedule meetings with the congressman, as you all did in the past, and were able to successfully meet with him.
But he didn't do what we wanted to do.
May I finish, just for one moment? Okay. I mean, you're here, right? So I listened to your points, and just briefly, if I could share the response to your request. You had an opportunity to make a request previously, and that was something that Mr. Issa agreed to do and meet in person. And
Well, actually, he stumbled in by accident. We got an aide that asked us to go upstairs. The state of California president, APWU, and myself. We went upstairs and we talked about 15 minutes to an aide, and then after that, he stumbled in with another aide, and he said, you know, is that your bus out there? And we discussed the matter, though, for a good 20 minutes. Yeah, it wasn't by appointment. It was just like this, spontaneous, and he seemed good with it. I don't know why you wouldn't at least make an effort, you know, to contact him. He seemed good with it.
Well, one of the things we like to do is take people's information and find if there can be an appropriate time in his schedule that isn't already booked, and I haven't had an opportunity to do that. But one of the things we can't allow is for the walkways to be blocked, because we do have other guests that are with scheduled appointments coming in and out, also a fire lane. So it's important that we have a clear path. You all understand that, right?
We think this situation is an emergency.
Well,
We think that 80,000 jobs is a huge number of workers, families affected, communities.
and I understand that, but this is an office space in which we have to continue to be able to operate. It is not a place in which people can sit and occupy a space permanently. We need to have it available for everyone.
Well, we're
And-
glad to leave once we get an assurance from Representative
Would you like
Issa.
to wait in the hallway while I check with his schedule and determine if there's a time in the next couple days that he's available?
We need to talk
I
to him
can't
now.
have you occupy
Am I right?
this space.
Yeah.
We need
Like
some-
I said, we can take a request for a meeting, we can take a look at his schedule, but I can't have you block passageways, and I can't have you block or occupy a space.
Well,
Would you be willing, if a staff member that's working on the postal issue on the committee, if they're available, I could check with them, would you consider meeting with them if they're available?
We'd be happy to meet with them if they want to come here. But we're
Well, it
we're
won't, it
waiting
wouldn't be
for,
in this physical space.
we're waiting for an assurance from Representative Issa
So,
that
so
he
you're
will
saying
protect
no if
six-day
a staff
delivery.
member that's working on the postal bill is available to meet in a committee space, you're saying no to that?
Correct.
I'm saying I'm not going to voluntarily move from this spot.
we've been doing that for a long time now, and it hasn't produced any results. So we're here because we feel this is an emergency.
Okay.
We've been doing it
Well,
for
I
for
understand
2
your
years.
position, and
been
I
working
think
on this
we've
for-
gone over the options that we have. So at this point, I think I'm going to have to consider calling the Capitol Police officers. You
Mr.
don't wanna
Postman.
reconsider any of the options that we've
Same here.
discussed?
Mr. Postman, don't go away. You walk
Okay.
down every street in the USA.
Okay,
snow
well,
and
I'll be just a
sleet
moment, I'll be right back, okay?
Night.
I'll be right here. I'm up.
Your
Does anyone need
packages
me water?
make our Christmas bright.
Mr.
Postmaster General,
Courtesy, man.
Absolutely.
do what you should. It's the only post office in my neighborhood. We need every post office in this town. Keep it open, don't close it.
Keep it open, don't close it.
Keep it open, don't close it.
Keep it
Open, don't close it.
Keep it open, don't close it.
Keep it open, don't close it.
Don't shut it down.
Don't shut it down.
Let me have another copy of this.
No 1%ers, dollar signs in their eyes. They want the post office to be privatized. Their friends in Congress really make me nervous. They're out to sabotage the postal service. Mr. Postman, together we can savor the postal workers and all of our neighbors. We need every post office in this town. Keep it open, don't close it.
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 Don't shut it down. Don't shut it down.
Love it. Great. Let me get your sign, I wanna get your sign. There we go. Thank you, thank you.
That was to the tune
And
of
one
Mr.
of the
Sanders.
messages we want to present to Representative Issa, who is one of the people we're referring to about the friends of the privatizers in Congress that really make us nervous, is how does that song start? 6 days a week?
Oh, yeah, 6 days.
No. We need to have our mail now. How does it? How does it go?
Well, maybe we can start with the chorus and then go back to it.
We need to have our mail now. 6 days a week. Ooh. 6 days a week.
The service that the
People
people
need
need La 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 la. And so how's the start? La 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 la.
You can't read your handwriting.
Oh,
Hey
it's
guys,
Darrel Issa
anyone want any
yourself.
pralines?
Yes, no.
Oh, are you
you're
Representative
on a
Issa?
strike.
I
Thank you
am.
for asking.
Wow.
My name is David Welsh. Hello, David. You may turn the camera off or leave, by
Okay,
the way.
all right. I'll turn it off.